I'm crazy. My actions are foolish. My dreams are crazy. And whatever I do is stupid. Whenever I do something, all the people say that everything points towards me being crazy. I had been called a lunatic, a fanatic, and stupid. My dear friends, Toastmasters, very distinguished guests, good evening. When I said I'm crazy, you all were like, oh yes you are. So you think that I'm crazy?
Yes, you are.
Yes. Who are the others who's crazy here? Oh, good for you. Okay. According to psychiatrists, they say the best way to find out whether some person is crazy or not is to ask them whether they are crazy. Because, according to them, no crazy person accepts that they are crazy. Being a crazy person, I now see a lot of friends to me here. Speaking of craziness, I figured out that not only I'm crazy, but my whole family is crazy. And also I have crazy friends. Crazy people are all around the world. Two of the most important crazy people that I know are Fidel Castro and Che Guevara. Fidel Castro and Che Guevara met in 1955 for the first time in Mexico City. They discussed the plan to overthrow the dictator Batista's rule from Cuba and revolutionize the country. When they discussed the matter, Fidel Castro did not have money, did not have a boat to cross over to Cuba, and had only 30 armed forces to fight an organized Cuban military. Hearing this, Che Guevara says, I think you're crazy. And after that, Fidel Castro asked Che Guevara, so are you with us for the revolution? Che Guevara says, yes, I am, upon one condition. That is, if we win the revolution, after we win the revolution, you will let me bring the revolution to all the Latin American countries. What a crazy duo they are. One person is planning to overthrow the Batista's army when he has nothing. He's outnumbered, his dream is outrageous and crazy, he has no resources whatsoever. And on the other hand, Che Guevara, when even the Cuban Revolution has not blossomed, not bloomed, he says he wants to bring the revolution to all the Latin American countries. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But after 5 years, less than 5 years, Fidel Castro overthrew Batista and became the ruler of the country. And Che Guevara, on the other hand, visited all over the world, fought in Bolivia and Congo in the name of revolution, and died for his cause. Those two crazy people who had a crazy dream, my dear friends, wrote a new history in the history of the world in the name of the Cuban Revolution. They showed to the world that a little craziness is good. I hope this is what Dr. Friedman meant when he said, dreams are often most profound when they seem most crazy. When I read this story, I was so inspired because I could relate to this craziness. Then I thought back, and yes, of course I could relate to this craziness because I have more crazy people in my life. Let me introduce them to you. My father and my mother. My father was born as the 5th child of a poor farmer's family. He did not have food to eat at times. 3 times a meal was a luxury. Therefore, education was an extravagance. My dear friends, when he went to school, he did not have an extra shirt to wear to school. When the children wore shoes, to school to protect their feet, my father had to carry his shoes in his hand in the rain and walk to the school barefoot because he knew his parents could not afford a new shoe. He had to wake up in the morning, in the dawn, mow the lawn to feed the cattle, and walk 5 kilometers every day to the school. Sleeping on the floor in his home was difficult, but not to dream. He dreamt that one day life could be better. One day he would be able to put 3 meals a day on the dining table. He would be able to give his children uniforms and shoes so that they can go to school. He dreamt a life where poverty needs not to be a birthright. My dear friends, when his brothers heard this, all 7 of them asked him whether, are you crazy? Because they had accepted life as it is. But my father was not a person who accepted life as it is. He worked hard. He worked hard and he put up his own small business. And at that point, life and his dream, his childhood crazy dream felt like, oh yes, he could realize all those dreams. Dreams are often most profound when it seems most crazy. But alas, life had a different thought to it. In the 1983 riots of Sri Lanka, my father lost his business, all his money, and he saw his childhood dream just robbed away from his hand. But he was not a person to give up just like that. He did not ask life, why me? But he asked, oh yes, try me. He fought again hard, he worked hard, and this time he built his business empire from scratch. He took care of his extended family. He gave his children the best education that he could afford. My dear friends, dreams are most often profound when it seems most crazy. Times passed by and life had its second vicious hit on our family in the year 2005. We as a family woke up in the year 2005 to know that my father's business had got bankrupt. We did not have a place to live. We did not have food to eat. We did not have anybody to support us. My dear friends, the so-called friends forever were nowhere to be found. The relationships were lost. The neighbors, no more. My mother is also born to a poor family. She only knows to love and take care of her family. And when she married my father, and when they exchanged garlands and wedding rings, she not only married my father, but also to our kitchen. She did not know what to do. And as the queen of our family, she was confined to the 4 walls of our home until that dreadful day when we woke up to know that we were bankrupt. I know that day she told me, if you let your present hardships to influence your future, you will always live in regret. She said, yesterday we lived in regret. Today, yes, of course, it's not our best day, but tomorrow is definitely our day. Isn't she crazy? We did not have food to eat. We did not have a place to live. We did not have clothes except what we were wearing. My father had been exhausted fighting for his life. And that day, we had to step up and take the responsibility. We, as a family, I was doing my finals of chartered accountancy. My sister was just starting off. My mother told me, I'm not going to let your empty pocket to withhold you from achieving your dreams. She said, I will take over all the responsibilities so that you will be able to achieve and run after your dreams. I have heard people asking her, are you crazy? Why are you doing this? Send these two people to work somewhere so that they will be able to bring some money so that you can take care of your family. But my dear friends, Sri Lanka has a population of 20 million. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Sri Lanka have at least 500,000 students from its inception. But from its inception, it had only had 4,000 chartered accountants. And thanks to this craziness, thanks to this ability not to give up, thanks to this great vision, I was able to become a past finalist of chartered accountants. And my sister, a finalist. We both work for Big Four audit firms. And we are not only living our own dreams, but we are also the living proof of the crazy dreams of our beloved parents. My dear friends, when the Afro-Americans were torched alive in the United States, it was crazy of Martin Luther King Jr. to say that I have a dream where my 4 little children will be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. It was crazy of my father to think of a better life when all of his family believed that poverty is their birthright. It was crazy of my mother to say that tomorrow is for sure ours when we had no place to live, no food to eat, and nobody to support. My dear friends, I had been called a lunatic, a fanatic, and idiotic. And I'm very damn proud to be called a crazy person, because being crazy is the story of our lives. Being crazy is the heritage that I carry forward. Next time when you are supposed to call a person crazy or a plan crazy, remember, dreams are most often profound when they seem most crazy.